This is how to defend yourself from a knife attack.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Netflix Explorers Podcast, the podcast that reaches out for that pot of gold, just like St. Patrick, from the 1890 studios. My name is Dale.
Enjoying a beverage from our sponsors, Black Rifle Coffee and E.T., also known as Irish Coffee. Happy St. Patty's Day. I'm Adam.
And this is Patrick, also celebrating St. Patrick's Day with a cup of Black Rifle. Come and get your podcast.
This is John, and I am not a Wayans brother.
Today we're going over Moon, The Men Who Stare at Goats, and Altered Carbon. Please stick around. Hello! Oh, that was late on the hello. But not so much of a late hello to Johnny P, back on the mic, dude. What's going on?
Good to be back for Season 2. I wasn't sure if you guys were going to get the funding cleared with the capital investors, but it looks like things are doing well here.
They approved your... Oh, geez. Well, hey, we do it live here on the podcast. You might have just heard a small cut, but what I was doing was asking John, we finally got the budget pushed through, because... per hour, I don't want to say how much we have to pay you per hour to be on this podcast, but I do know Bezos upstairs has helped pay for some of that.
Yeah, I was wondering, is he going to bring you guys along to the second headquarters, or is it going to be a remote office?
You know what? I think we're going to do it remotely.
We haven't really decided yet.
We want the whole building back again, all 7 floors.
Yeah. We just released an ad blitz.
Yeah,
last week. So
and
advertising campaign,
Yeah, we want to thank everybody for.
We got the guys from Mad Men helping us out.
Oh, nice.
And they dress properly.
Yeah. One thing they said podcasts are like stories. And I was like, that's not our podcast.
Right.
And they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll throw that away. I felt very important.
Right.
But happy Pi Day, Dale.
Hey, it feels good to be here, man. How you doing?
Doing well.
Good.
Yep.
Patrick, how are you doing this fine eve?
I'm waiting for St. Patrick's Day. I'm just sitting here waiting. I got like a can of Guinness just always on, like in my holster.
On tap?
Yeah, just waiting for it.
I'm
going to crack that bad boy open.
You have a keg of just Guinness running into your house, don't you?
Into my office and in my house.
So there's like a water tap, and then there's a Guinness tap.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Val's not too happy about it because she's accidentally washed the dishes with Guinness once, and I lost
irresponsible
my head.
Although the cereal he had after that was delicious.
Little milk, little Guinness.
Speaking of something delicious, what are we going over first, Patrick? What do you think?
I want to do Moon first.
Want to do Moon. This is a 2009 film. Astronaut Sam Bell has quintessentially personal encounter towards the end of his 3-year stint on the moon, where he, working alongside his computer Gertie, sends back to Earth parcels of a resource that has helped diminish our planet's power problems. IMDb 7.9, drama, mystery, sci-fi, 97 minutes, $5 million budget. Adam, roll the trailer.
Film dash, Tribeca, all kinds of stuff.
Sam Bell reporting to Central. Everything running smoothly. Over and out.
So
rock and roll. God bless America.
He's on an energy base on the moon.
Lunar Industries remains the number
companion.
1 provider of clean energy worldwide due to the hard work of people like you.
Yeah, so he's hanging out on the moon.
Got a
3
wife
years
back
is a
home.
long haul, you know.
I know you're really lonely up there, but I'm proud of you.
2 weeks to go, Sam.
2 weeks to go, buddy.
I'm going home.
Looks like we got a live one. I'm gonna go out.
The trailer we're watching has German subtitles?
I think they're Dutch.
Ah, ich habe keine Beine.
Leaving Sarang, working.
Oh, yeah. Opens up a spaceship, sees himself.
We have to dance around this one.
Well, I don't know.
It's in the trailer, so.
Yeah.
Perhaps you're imagining things.
Kevin Spacey as the robot.
Where did he come from? Why does he look like me? You've been up here too long, man. You've lost your marbles. 2 weeks. I don't understand what's happening. This is my mind.
Action.
Go
Action.
I know.
Moon. This time, it's
Adam, docket master, docket machine this week. Talk to me.
Well, this was actually a Dale Norman recommendation.
Ah,
we were
that
doing the
it
NetX
was.
News, and you're like, dude, put Moon on the podcast.
And you did.
And I did.
And what'd you think?
Hated it.
Okay.
I thought this movie was terrible.
Good.
Super boring. No, I couldn't even tell you what this movie's about. I fell asleep halfway through.
Ooh, well, that's
Yeah.
maybe why.
Super lame.
Okay. Patrick, what do you think about this one?
Yeah, I was kind of along the same lines where I fell asleep twice,
Hmm.
and then the third time I really committed to it. And
Okay.
I'm glad I committed to it, unlike Adam.
Okay.
So
Good.
I thought
So
it was good.
so heavy meh?
No, I thought it was good.
Oh, okay.
So you got to get through that first 20 minutes. After you get past that, there's a lot to this movie. It's one of those sci-fi kind of like makes you a little bit think about
Sure.
the future. And
Right.
so I like that about this movie. So.
Okay. John, what'd you think? Moon.
I wish I fell asleep during it. In a word, I thought it was very predictable.
Okay.
And with Patrick saying it made you think a lot, I agree. The plot holes made me think a lot about the execution of everything.
Oh, plot
Ooh.
holes. Okay.
Ooh.
So, Adam, since you didn't like it, I want you to tell me what this is about. I want you to explain it in how you're going to be.
See, I don't want. It's very difficult, I think, to explain. That's why I brought up in the trailer without giving too much away.
Well,
So I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
You call me out if you think
Sure.
I went too far.
okay.
So, got an astronaut up on the moon, manning this moon base
Sure.
where they harvest these resources.
Right.
He's been up there for 3 years. He's ready to go, almost time his 3-year cycles contracts up so he
Yeah.
can go home. So he's like 2 more weeks till I get to go home and see my family and all this stuff. But he gets into an accident.
Right. Takes a little rover out and
Yes.
runs into one of the mining
But then
machines.
he wakes up in the sick bay. He goes back out to the accident and finds himself
Sure.
in the accident.
You're right.
So there's like 2 of him, and now the movie begins.
And then they come back to the main base and
which neither of them care that their exact replica exists, which is weird. Like they just stand there like, oh, that's kind of interesting. I mean, I'll talk to this guy later after he wakes up. Like, no, like you look exactly like me. Either I'm going crazy or what the heck's going on.
right.
Like everyone's just like, yeah, this is happening. Like it was just so dumb. It was just so dumb. Like
you didn't like. I mean, so he runs into exact replica of himself. Yeah. How do you act in a certain thing like that? I think
I want to be like, dude, what the heck? Like, what? Tell me everything about you. Why are you here? What?
Right.
What's everything you remember? Blah 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 blah.
Sure.
Not like, okay, well, I'll talk to you when you wake up. I think I'm just gonna do some jumping jacks right now.
Right.
Like,
Well,
what?
I think that talks a lot about who the Sam Rockwell, who was actually named Sam Bell in this one. Like it tells a lot about his character too. That's not what he's concerned about. He's still trying to get over the fact he hasn't seen humans, I mean, in real form for 3 years, and he all of a sudden runs into himself, which is interesting. So and as we know more and more and more about the character as it's revealed, he isn't the kind of person who would just, like you would do, or I think may have anybody here would like shake the guy and be like, what the heck's your deal? How'd you get here? Where are you from? Why do you look exactly like me? I think that the reason why he didn't do that is because that's the type of character he is. But
He's the kind of person that doesn't care that his exact same person exists.
Exactly.
What?
Well-
no, that's so dumb.
One portion of him does care. The
Right.
other one is the one who's newer to the film.
Sure.
And he's the one that blows it all off, who he should be really the one inquisitive, because
That's
he
what
hasn't
I'm
been up there
That's
for
what
that
I'm
long.
talking about. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's been there for all we know, a couple days, and he just doesn't care about
he gets
this
over
only other human.
He gets over it right away. He goes, okay, it's myself. Now it's time to go on with, the tale. He sees that he knows he's the exact same person, so let's move on. I don't think he sits there and cares about it too long because he's only been there a few days, so what does he care? He understands something's up and he's going to figure out what's going on. So that's what he did. I don't think he needs to sit there and dwell. You're in space. Now, the other guy, the original Sam Bell, doesn't get it. He's trying to put stuff together, and it takes a little more time for him to process. But either way, Patrick, you liked it, but why? What is the deal? Did you find the huge plot holes of why he's not asking himself what the heck's going on?
No, I kind of got over those pretty quick because, any sci-fi movie is probably going to have a plot hole or two. But am kind of awestruck by Adam because is a recent or award-winning space expert. I thought you would know how important exercise is on the moon.
No, I'm not downing the need for exercise.
Well, I mean,
in a lower gravity environment.
What happens
no
to the
question.
body with no activity like that?
Falls, becomes mush.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, so like even if you're faced with like a crazy dilemma that you have to figure out, you still got to run, you still got to hit the punching bag, you still got to do the jumping jacks.
That's true.
Or else you're just gonna be a ball of mush on the ground.
That's true.
So I mean, he's got a job to do, and
I
he
think
did it. But
I think too the original, and I'm really going to fight for this movie a little bit because I've seen it about maybe about a million two. I think he is trying to deal with it. They both are trying to deal with it in their own way, so they're not going to, sit around and ask a bunch of questions. They don't know what's going on, so they just got to sit and think.
yeah,
I think that's the way it is.
going off of that, it kind of struck me like, remember Primer? How you had to watch it a couple of times before
Right.
you really like figured
There's
out the
no
timeline.
amount of times to watch it to really get it. I think
Primer or this one?
No, Primer.
Oh yeah,
You can watch it forever and never really get your mind around it.
yeah, but like this one, I feel like the second watch is going to be different because you'll know a little bit more about the timelines.
Okay.
But with that being said, the characters kind of got down to it once they figured out, like, okay,
Sure.
here's the problem, here's what we need to do, and this is what's happening, blah, blah, blah. So they
Right.
kind of got to it. I don't know why you guys didn't like it, except for...
See,
Yeah.
but when they got to it, that was boring. That was just boring.
Mm.
Like there's
Predictable boring, like John said? Or what kind of boring?
I just didn't like. Once I found out what was going on, I was like, oh,
You checked out.
that's it.
Yeah.
I really don't care.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I really don't care.
Right.
I didn't want to. This one, I'm very careful to dance because once I find out what is going on,
Right.
I don't care because I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, your plicht's not real.
Oh,
You know what I
okay.
mean?
Yeah.
Like you're just there. Like it's like so
Huh.
I don't really care about. Like it's not a.
Right.
I don't know. I can't. It's frustrating.
No, I know what you mean. I kind of know. I know what you're stabbing at.
Yeah.
And John, we made the awful mistake of not saving it for the cast, and we rapped about this for a little bit on the Island of Truth. And predictable, you called it out, not without blowing what was predictable. You thought the same thing. The plight was just meh because you knew what was coming.
Yeah, throughout the movie, almost right out of the gates, I was able to determine one of two options, and both options are very similar, so that was correct. And then it was almost thinking about 15 minutes ahead, and each next task or potential spin,
Sure,
you just saw it coming.
Right.
To the point that I was getting bored, like Adam, and then I just started thinking, okay, wait, why is this happening? Wait, why would the robot assistant disobey one thing but freely allow something else later on?
Sure.
So then I just started nitpicking because I was like,
Which
well,
is a
this
total
really
Space
isn't-
Odyssey ripoff.
Yeah,
Let's just say
it was definitely
like,
a hat tip. Yeah,
I can't do that, Sam. Like,
yeah. I'm
Oh,
sorry,
but wait,
Sam.
yes, I can. I can do anything
Well-
you ask.
Well, the thing is, and I know what you guys are talking about, and that's super interesting because I noticed it, especially with this viewing, and I probably haven't watched this one for a few years. And it was super interesting when it was doing like its program tasks, like what to do. It just went off on its own thing, and maybe Sam didn't like that. But then when he asked it specifically what to do, it was honest with him, which is really like a creepy AI that runs its program, but at the same time adheres to what you want because its only goal in this life is to work for you. So it's like, well, who's it? Well, I see it's like, well, who's it working for? Well, it's working. It has two jobs. Its main program, and it wants to make you happy. I don't know. It's really interesting.
It's all about the algos.
It's all about the algos, man. I don't know. I thought it was super interesting. Let's blow through some notes here on Patrick's fantastic list here. Kevin Spacey read the script and agreed to voice Gertie, which is the little computer that
The robot.
the robot. But only when the film was finished and if he liked it. Having loved it, he recorded his lines in half a day. The whole thing was shot in 33 days. The film takes place in 2035. The film makes several references to Stanley Kubrick's 2001 A Space Odyssey. Gertie looks and sounds similar to HAL 9000. They also have a similar dot. HAL's is red and Gertie's is blue. The film choreographs scenes in space to classical music just like Stanley Kubrick did. So that's that. I mean, is there anything else to add? We danced around the story. We did not blow it. Yes, Sam Bell sees another Sam Bell, but I don't know if we blew anything. John, what do you got to add?
No, I just have a question. I think I know Adam's answer already, but 7.9 IMDb.
Yeah.
I mean, that is high up there for a movie.
Sure.
That is extremely high.
Yeah. I think it's all
because
worth it.
It's based off 2001: Space Odyssey, so that was already a good movie. So just do what they did. And
follow, hop on the backs to greatness.
Yes,
I suppose.
Yeah, I think it only had like 5,000 votes on it, and they were kind of heavily 5, 6, 7s, but then there was a couple 3, 2, 1s, you know. So
the user reviews I saw were all like 8, 9, 10, 8, 9, 10. Like people were raving about it on IMDb.
Ranting and raving.
Yeah.
Nice.
Was it a bunch of just D Normans with different numbers after their
yeah, 1, 2, 3 through 1,000?
I don't know. Everyone's like thought-provoking. I was like, no. I mean,
here's what and you guys won't do this at all. Watch it again. You won't do it. You'll never do it. And that's fine. It's not for everybody. I adore this movie. I think this is super well done. I think it's a heck of a lot deeper than we're all giving it credit for. Patrick and I believe... And watching it again gives it a prestige thing for sure because
a ringy thing.
Yes,
we changed it. Yeah.
Right. Okay, and it's definitely you pay attention to so much more on a repeated viewing, I think. But on the surface, yeah, I can see what you guys are saying. Yeah, it's a predictable space movie that already ripped off something else. But if you want to think that way, hey man, this is America. That's a beautiful thing. Anything else, John? You got a lot of notes, don't you? Are they all up in the noggin?
There wasn't many notes for this one.
No.
I watched it with my wife, and after it was all said and done, we just kind of looked at each other and shrugged and said, well, that was a movie. And just
one
went
down,
along.
2 to go.
Well, then let's do a pros cons. Adam, I'm going to send it to you.
Pros, I love space.
Yes.
Very cool shots of space and on the moon.
Right.
And, I think I still like the trailer's great. You look at the trailer, I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I thought he would have been like, oh, he's going crazy. He's been there for 3 years by himself. And now he's seeing things. Oh, but there's like an air leak, and he's got to fix the air leak, but he still sees crazy things, and he can't get it right, but he's got to survive to get back to Earth, and then he finally fixes it and gets back to Earth. That'd be great. That'd be a great movie. I think that's way better than this movie. But cons, like I said, I already kind of lead into it. It's boring. Makes no sense. I don't care about the plight of the character once I find out what's going on.
Yeah.
So
that'll be a definite con. Patrick, pros, cons, this one.
Well, I felt for the character, so I felt
Kevin
something.
Spacey's a character.
Yeah, well, not that character, but the human character I kind of had a connection to because I was like, well, if I was up on a space station and I was stranded and then this started to happen to me, I was like, oh, crap.
Yeah.
This is not good. And then, things just unfold in front of you and you got to deal with them, which, again, I thought Adam would like it because he's the guy that wants to deal with things head on.
Self-reliant,
yeah. But here he is. But my con for it is you got to skip like the first 20 minutes because it's such a slog.
I think this movie could be shortened up a little bit too. But
then it's just a TV show at an hour. So
there you go. John, you got a pros, cons for this one.
Yeah, pros, similar to what was said already, that it's a unique idea. Con, though, it's just poorly executed. I just didn't think they took advantage with what they could have done.
Harsh. Pros for me there's a lot of space movies out there. I mean, Martian was, I thought, a really good one. There's a ton of space ways you can take space. The moon is almost old hat, but I think that the pro is this is a cool way to look at something on the moon. I really like Sam Rockwell. He's worth the trip. That's definitely pro. But con is, as I just said, it's a little long. And if you're not, as these guys just said, if you're not willing to stick around the whole time and dive in, it can drag, and you want to get out of it ASAP. You want to fly off the planet of the movie. I don't know. I got nothing. Rewatch recommend, Adam, if you could.
No.
No and no. Patrick, rewatch recommend.
Like I said, that Ringy effect might chime in on this one.
Mm-hmm.
So I might rewatch it, but there's a lot to watch on Netflix, so it had to be like a real rainy day where only certain titles are available. Or maybe I'm across the country.
What weather pattern is that cuts some movies out?
Well, as we all know, the Netflix servers are split up across the world. So if you get like a lightning strike in New York, maybe only have San Francisco movies. And if this is a San Francisco movie or vice versa, it's a whole complicated thing. But yeah, it's a possibility.
Only Sleepless in Seattle
not
for
redundant.
You. Okay. John, rewatch recommend.
Stunningly no and no.
No and no. Not surprised. Let me swing it back to you, though, with a drink review. Do you got something you can compare this one to?
I would go with Dogfish Head 90-minute IPA. I'm not an IPA fan, but I know a lot of people who do like it, except this Dogfish Head has a bunch of marbles in it. And you look at it and you go, well, why? Why did this happen? And there's just no answer. And yeah.
Wait, there's like marbles, like little circle marbles?
Yeah, there's just a bunch of marbles
in
there. And you just want to know, well, why were these placed here? Why are they here? Where did they come from? And, it's just like, no, we're not going to give you those answers. Just enjoy this drink that people really like.
Interesting. I like it. Patrick, bring us on to liquor store aisle.
So I gave my drink a snake bite, and it's like half a cider and then half a lager underneath. But if you mix up the proportions of it, you could just really have it not tasting the way you want it. But this one, I think they did well with the cider on top and then the Guinness on bottom, so I really liked it.
Okay, cool. Adam, bring us on to liquor store aisle.
So this one was tough because, this part of the reason we started this podcast because I always ask Dale, hey, give me a good movie to watch on Netflix, and he always comes through with a solid recommendation.
Yeah.
So it's like I go to the same bartender I've always gone to for, hey, give me a new drink, and he's doing his thing, he's shaking it up, he's mixing it together. He's got the long skinny straw
with the little twisties in it.
Yeah, the little spoon. Sorry, with they can twist it up. Yeah. He's got those white little fruits that the cocktail onions. You drop those in there. It's looking nice and good. He hands it to me, and I'm like, oh yeah, what is this? He's like, it's a cilantro mojito, and it's just like I drink it. I'm like, oh god, dude, I love you, but this sucks.
Too much cilantro.
Yeah,
too much cilantro will kill any drink.
Yep. So
sounds like betrayal right there.
I got you.
Wow. What do you got?
I'm doing this is a Gumball Head, old classic. I've had it for a long time. It's a wonderful drink every time. I haven't had a Gumball Head in a while, and I haven't watched this movie in a while, but every time the taste touches my lips, it's a refreshing, beautiful note of all the happiness that ensues from the region.
I'm on the moon.
I'm on the moon with this one. Yeah, I should have done like Space Station. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
But that's
going to the well too soon.
Way to resist that.
Thank you.
Yep.
But that's an old classic. So we got the next one up. What do we decide, Patrick?
The Men Who Stare at Goats.
2009 film. A reporter in Iraq might just have the story of a lifetime when he meets Lynn Cassidy, a guy who claims to be a former member of the U.S. Army's New Earth Army, a unit that employs paranormal powers in their mission. 6.2 IMDb comedy war. It's a 94-minute film with a $35 million budget. Roll that trailer.
My name is Bob Wilton. I'm a journalist. I've been investigating a story about a classified government program.
Ewan McGregor, there's George Clooney.
Is that you were a psychic spy, a Jedi warrior.
Which is ironic.
I'd heard that the U.S. government was training psychic soldiers, and that Lynn Cassidy was the best of the best.
I've been reactivated. I'm on a mission.
I could come. Lynn's story was unbelievable, crazy, and completely true.
We have to dream a new America that no longer has an exploitative view of everyone.
Jeff Bridges.
You will be a psychic weapon. Feel it, yes! You must create warrior monks who can pass through walls and see into the future.
Congratulations, Scotty.
Nick Offerman.
Sorry it doesn't work out between you two.
Kevin Spacey.
What are you doing? Cloud bursting. Keeps me in shape. And it's gone.
Geez, you had like the whole desert to drive in, Lynn.
Please. Thank you for picking us up.
How are we going to stop them? They've got guns.
The story is so crazy it has to be true.
We don't fight with guns, we fight with our minds.
Holy.
George Clooney, Ewan McGregor, Kevin Spacey, Jeff Bridges.
I went looking for a story, and my friend Lynn brought me an adventure.
It's okay, we're Americans. We're here to help you.
What happened?
I think I just ran him over. Oh, crap.
The Man Who Stare at
Lieutenant
Goats.
Colonel Django used funds from the project's black budget to procure prostitutes.
That's a lie.
And to get drugs for himself and his men.
Well, the hooker thing is definitely a lie.
All right, so that is The Men Who Stare at Goats. Patrick, can I roll through some of your notes, please?
Of course, Dale.
Or why don't you do that? Why don't you do that, Patrick? Your own notes.
Well, okay.
I'm glad I
we
didn't have
a-
to convince you to.
It's an IMDb 6.2. It's a comedy war genre. Runtime of 94 minutes and a budget of $35 million. The Evolutionary Tactics Field Manual shown is an actual manual created by James Channon in 1978 for the U.S. Army. The film talks extensively about the Jedis and using Jedi powers. Ewan McGregor played a Jedi, Obi-Wan Kenobi, in the Star Wars prequels.
Yeah.
The film cast includes 3 original Oscar winners: George Clooney, Jeff Bridges, and Kevin Spacey.
All those big-time bros for a 6.2 IMDb.
$35 million.
$35 million bucks. A far superior film for $5 million was made. It's called Moon. John.
Agreed.
Men Who Stare at Goats. Should I ask Adam why he put it on the docket first? Or
You may.
Okay, Adam. What was your
The
decision
council
making?
allows it.
Well, yeah, please tell us.
I don't know. I haven't seen this one, and it's look at the cast.
Ewan McGregor.
Great cast and that crazy concept, Jedi Warriors, based on a true story.
Yeah.
So what? Like,
both.
this
Jedis
came
are
out
true?
in 2009. It slipped through my movie cracks, like I'm sure it did a lot of people.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
let's check it out and see if what all the scuttlebutt was about.
Sure. Yeah.
If there was any scuttlebutt, I don't remember how much scuttle there was.
Tell us about the scuttlebutt, John. What did you think about this one, man?
I had actually seen it back in the day, way back in 2009.
Okay.
I remembered nothing about it, and then decided I had to watch it again. And halfway through, I decided that this is probably why I don't remember much about it.
Right.
Not saying it's awful. It's more forgettable, I guess, as an overall movie.
Okay. I got you. Patrick, what do you think, man?
I also saw it on DVD after we got out of theaters, and the only thing I remember is noticing how many outlets are in a room.
Ah, yes.
And then, apart from that, this whole movie is pretty forgettable.
That's the only thing, yeah. Adam, what do you think about this one?
Meh.
Heavy meh?
Heavy meh.
Okay.
I think they got cocky when they made this movie. And what I mean by that is, all right, we got the U.S. government trying to make Jedi Warriors. Oh, and we got George Clooney. We got Jeff Bridges. We got Kevin Spacey. We could just walk in the park in this movie, and it's going to be awesome. No, it didn't.
Overstepped your bounds.
You got to do the work.
Right.
That's
true.
And I just felt like this would have been a great documentary. I think they got too obsessed with the story of it. This really happened to not tie it back to a good movie.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's like they almost forgot the writing. I don't know. That's what
It's like a crazy joke documentary mixed. And then we got to tie it into a movie somehow.
Right.
Let's just throw some funny lines in there.
Yeah, it seemed it overstepped its bounds. I think it went a little too far past where it should have. I don't know. Maybe if that's a thing, it like didn't. You had all the right. You had all the oomph behind it, but to me, it just it didn't like play out like they got sloppy. It's like they got.
It almost sounds like you're walking into a drink review with all the mixing.
Patrick,
maybe
you said you saw this movie in 2009. John, you said you saw it before. You said you went to the theater to see it.
I saw it after the theaters.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
But I
Same.
mean, if you want me to say I saw it in theaters, I could do that.
Well, I was gonna say what drove you to the theater, but I don't want you to make
Probably
up
my
false.
dad at that point.
Why? Is he wanting to see it?
I think he wanted to see it because it's got that George Clooney, Jeff Bridges, all that good stuff. I know he liked it, but I was trying to figure out why he liked it. So
maybe get duped.
yeah, we all got duped.
I'm kind of worried.
We got mind tricked.
We all got duped.
Or John, why did you watch it? Do you remember kind of why you wanted to watch it the first time?
What drew you in?
I think I saw that trailer, and then I was like, all right, this looks like it could be silly.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'll give him credit. It was silly at times. I mean,
there's some funny parts.
Sure.
Yeah.
But there was no cohesive story to it. And all right, this is a stretch. It reminded me similar to a very poorly done like Monty Python movie where it's like, oh, it's really silly at times, but there's like no real cohesive story. Like, okay, here's where we're going. Like, there's the set.
Right.
I don't know. The storytelling wasn't that well, which Monty Python does a much better job of telling the story, but it's also silly. I don't know. Yeah,
Right.
a little stretch there.
Yeah, they
but-
took the silliness too far and stopped the real story, the storytelling.
I really felt
more silly on top.
I really felt like it would have been a great documentary.
Oh, it's a great story because it is like the fact that they had a, what do they call it? U.S. Army. What do they call it? U.S. New Earth Army.
Yeah.
That's a thing. Like it's a like that.
Yeah, like hey, the Russians. We thought the Russians were into psychic warfare. We had to make sure we beat them there. Like
Right.
it's just like that was the mentality, and like that's crazy.
It's
that
it's a crazy
that's how
story.
scary things were back then, and like it would have been a great story to tell in a good documented way.
Right.
But they got cocky, dude.
Yeah. Got a little sloppy. I think too what was a big problem is they had a lot of they had like a ton of okay, so it is boats, but they had a ton of backstory stuff that like you saw a ton of Ewan McGregor, and then Ewan McGregor's backstory, and then his like dealing with his wife, and then what his newspaper, and then okay, so this is a movie about Ewan McGregor, the newspaper writer. Okay, great. And then they're like going to like all these people's backgrounds, and then there's George Clooney's background, then there's Jeff Bridges' background, and then there's their general's background, and then the movie all of a sudden ends, and it's like, wait a second,
And what a stupid ending it had.
oh yeah, it was almost like a Monty Python ending where they ran out of money and just needed to end the film. It's almost what it seemed like. It just it had no closer.
That's it. It was a story with a movie.
And it had a ton of facts, as you said, Adam. It could be a great documentary. You got a great backstory, you got great facts, but you can't tie up they did not tie up a story like this.
Yeah.
They didn't put the facts in with the storytelling. They stopped storytelling somewhere towards the end and just kind of gave up. I don't know. That's what I thought.
Yeah, it just turned like towards the ending, it got really, really goofy. And then it was like, why are you doing this? You had a good first half.
Right.
But then like the second act was trash. So
Yeah, I can agree with that.
You know, I was thinking, when's the last time you saw George Clooney in a really good movie?
Never.
Last time I saw him in a really good, I like The American. That was on Netflix.
That was pretty good.
I thought that was good.
What's that, like 2012, 2013?
I don't remember. I know it's on Netflix. So I don't remember the dates.
Book of Knowledge.
Is
Book
he
of Knowledge?
in Up in the Air?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
I thought that was really good too.
Wrong.
You don't like that one?
No, I really don't think George
Julie
Clooney is.
hates that movie.
Well, she's a
Hates
smart
it.
woman.
Yeah, indeed. I'd have to agree.
Yeah, get that movie on the cast.
Yeah, we could do that. And I just had the movie in my head. He was in there was like another Oceans movie that
Up in the
came
Air
out.
was 2009.
Same as this. Okay, same year as
Right.
this. I thought that one was great. Why are you trying to make a case against?
I'm making a
Mr.
case.
Clooney?
I'm thinking it. You know,
building your case.
I think so.
What is the last one you saw that didn't rock you? Besides this one, of course.
I mean, yeah, I would say The American. Probably.
Yeah.
That's
When was that?
2010.
2010. Okay.
2010, The American. He's in Gravity in 2013. No one really. I don't remember. I remember people kind of
He's like a bit role of that. In
yeah,
that one.
The Monuments Men.
That was a pretty good one.
That was good. Decent.
Yeah.
2014.
I don't think now his role didn't like rock me, but I like the movie. So
Okay.
we're talking about awesome George Clooney.
Hail Caesar. That one kind of flopped.
That was not as funny as it should have been.
Yeah.
Money Monster 2016.
Ooh, I actually enjoyed that one.
Okay.
Yeah, that one caught me off guard.
All right. So 20. Maybe I'm wrong. 2016. He made a good one.
He
But
didn't.
but I don't know. Like I'm thinking, I think he's lost kind of his
Fizzled out.
I think he's doing some crappy roles. That,
When
like,
was Confessions of a Dangerous Mind? That was early. That was a lot early. That's another one with Kevin Spacey in it.
Okay. Now, okay. Then you got Up in the Air. Before Up in the Air, Burn After Reading, which is coming up to a podcast soon to you.
Again, nothing that George Clooney really.
Michael
rocked.
Clayton, Ocean's 13, Ocean's 11 is pretty solid. Syriana was good. That was really good. That was 2005.
So we got to go a decade plus to get this guy in, and
Was he in Three Kings too?
Yeah, but
Three Kings was in the 90s. Oh brother, where art thou? 2000.
2000.
That's awesome. Perfect
he fizzled
Storm.
out. What's going on,
Three
George
Kings,
Clooney?
99.
Is this
we
this
want-
podcast brought to you by George Clooney?
No, we want to reach out to him and get him on the podcast. You're always invited here, George. We want to talk.
I think
to
it's irrefutable that 90s, early 2000s George Clooney has taken a dive. since-
George Clooney. Well, he's going around saving the world. He's got his own tequila company.
That's what I'm saying.
Busy man.
Eyes not on the ball.
He's doing right. He's doing right in roles just like this. It was a sloppy role. I don't know what else can we go on.
I'm not here to trash George Clooney. I'm just bringing it up.
What are we? Is there anything else we can add to this thing,
I think
guys?
Jeff Bridges did a really well job in this movie.
Jeff Bridges was playing the Jeff Bridges we we know and love.
Ewan McGregor did a great job.
Right.
I think he was funny when it needed to be. He was the common sense when it needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
He had a great American accent.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he hung out in Michigan for a long time. For that. But I will say, now we kind of bash George Clooney, Ewan McGregor. Can we, as long as we're kind of bailing on this movie, let's just talk about the characters. Jeff Bridges. How about this? We'll stop at Jeff Bridges. Bad movie he's been in recently, or one that didn't wow you.
Hang on, I'm going IMDb.
Tron.
I think
you didn't like Tron,
the new one.
The new one.
He was in that one movie where he was like the dead police or something.
Oh, R.I.P.D.
Yeah, R.I.P.D.
Oh
that
no,
was icky.
I didn't see it, but I feel so bad that he was.
Yeah.
Well, he's got one. Only the Brave coming out 2017. Kingsman 2017. Hell or High Water 2016. That's a great movie. Hell or High Water.
I haven't seen it. I will
and
watch
he's
it.
great in it.
Okay. So you were wowed in 2016 as a 2016 film. He wowed you in it.
Hell or High Water?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's a wow movie.
So he's recently been
The Giver 2014.
Okay, so he's still on his game.
True Grit 2010.
True Grit was awesome. All right, now Ewan McGregor, he was in The Impossible. I really liked him there. What can he do, really, is the question.
Now I'm going.
All right, let's do it. Bring up Ewan McGregor.
We're going off on a tangent.
Well, we're just going through them all. No, we're leaving the movie behind where it should be. I don't really know how it got into the 6s on IMDb. 6.2 even.
Clooney,
that was just because of Clooney.
Drug it down. It was he was not right for this role.
No, I don't think so.
I don't know why.
Although he's good in a goofier role, I do like seeing him that, but he wasn't what we needed.
All right, you guys ready for Ewan McGregor?
Let's go.
Beauty and the Beast, that new Beauty and the Beast movie.
He was a candle.
Fargo, the TV show, The Fargo, that's going on. He's in that one, I guess. Our Kind of Traitor, 2016. Our Kind of Traitor. He's a traitor. American
like
Pastoral.
one who trades, or
no, like one who betrays.
I gotcha.
Jane Got a Gun. We watched that one.
He was in Jane. Oh yes, he was.
Yeah.
Okay. Jane.
The Force Awakens. But
is that what is that? A Star Wars movie?
Yes.
Yeah. It's a skippable one, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Son of a Gun. Jack the Giant Slayer. The Impossible. The Impossible was good.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah.
What was that? 2012.
2012. Good.
Okay.
Good. Well done.
Thank you.
Ghost Rider 2010. That was decent.
Yeah, I thought so too.
It's a Nick Cage.
Yeah.
Wait,
Nick Cage.
Wait.
No,
that was decent.
Pierce Brosnan.
No, Ghost Rider, not Ghost Rider. Nick Cage.
I got Nick Cage in the mind.
Right.
Never a bad thing.
Okay, so anyway, let's stop. So basically, we got a hit or miss group of A-list actors that Jeff Bridges really tries to hold the whole thing together, playing a classic Big Lebowski style dude character. But anyway, failed on all of the fronts.
Well, I mean, for me, 6.2. I mean, probably closer to 5.5. It wasn't a bad movie for me. It was silly at times. I'm not going to say like, oh, that's the worst movie I've seen or anywhere close to it. It just wasn't much to offer to get me back or to get me to sit down again. Just like, all right, that was an okay movie.
That was a thing.
It was silly.
Yeah.
I laughed a couple times.
Yes, it was kind of silly, especially in the trailer where he goes, "We're Americans, we're here to help you." He hits him with the rearview mirror.
Yeah, there's some funny parts.
Yeah. I mean, is there any more to add? Are we going to go down a list of any other characters?
Kevin Spacey. Hang on.
Just kidding. We're going to bypass Kevin Spacey, I guess. But yeah, they should have brought some bigger, more than a 6.2 anyway. Give me pros, cons, Adam, if we could.
Pros, it's a very interesting story.
Sure.
It's based on a true story, but unfortunately you don't know what's true and what's not true. So you don't know what to be like shocked by or interested in, and it's kind of...
I think the first thing that is even said is the story is based on true events. You'll be surprised does anyone remember the first thing? You'll be surprised how real this actually is, or something like that is the tagline.
Yeah.
It's like, well, what is?
Yeah, exactly. So it's interesting, that aspect. It's got some funny moments.
Yeah.
Cons, it's not a movie. It's a story they try to make into a movie.
Sure.
So it doesn't have really good cohesive feel. I think it belongs in the low 6s. To me, a low 6 movie on IMDb is like, meh, okay. You showed up, You got the scenes right. You edited well. You had some jokes in there.
Yeah.
See, but man, it's forgettable.
Sure.
For me, when you get to the high 6s, that's when like, okay, you got some upside.
Sure.
7s, oh, well done.
Right. I see what you're
8s,
saying.
oh my God, you guys are amazing. 9s, just like, you are you are the best.
You are
movie.
divine.
Yeah, that's how I see it. Anyway.
Patrick, give me a pros cons.
My pro would be Ewan McGregor, and my con would be George Clooney.
Okay, well, there you go. John, looking at you.
brother, where art thou?
Pros, it was silly at times. Cons, when it wasn't silly, it was pretty forgettable.
There we go. Pros for me, yeah, I'm going to echo Adams. It's cool story. It really happened, or chunks of it-ish happened. But the cons is, again, like Adam said, it was sloppily. It's a bunch of cool information that was sloppily put together in a bad story. It was a bad story. So that makes a bad movie, no matter how cool the boats factor is. Then, Adam, can we do a rewatch recommend?
No.
Patrick, rewatch.
Nope.
John?
Nope, and despite me actually seeing it twice, still no.
Still no. No recommendation. Well, flip it back to you again. Flip the script. What's your drink review for this one, John?
I would put just a Boston Lager. I feel like that's my 6 of a beer. It's not going to do you wrong, but it's not something I'm going to seek out. It's just a beer.
Right. I got you. Patrick, what about you? Bring us on liquor store aisle.
So people are trying to lose weight this last couple of days before St. Patrick's Day.
Right.
So, you want to use some prune juice to clean out the system. But if you add butter to it, it supercharges it. So I gave this prune juice with butter because this movie was crap.
Ooh.
Oh,
get it? Nice.
Zing.
Pow. Adam, bring us on liquor
I
store
gave
aisle.
this one, it's a Bloody Mary.
You hate Bloody Marys.
Yeah, but I gotta give it for take on it this time.
Okay.
So it's like a Bloody Mary that you like. I saw this one Bloody Mary at the Bears game one time at Soldier Field. They had it's a Bloody Mary with bacon sticking out of it, and there's a piece of pizza sticking out of the Bloody Mary. Just put like salami, olives, cheese. Just there was so much food. It was like a meal coming out of the Bloody Mary.
Sure.
It's like you did all that. But you forgot what you were at your heart. You were a cocktail.
You're right.
And you used crap vodka and cracked tomato juice. This movie, yeah, you had all this, you had all these characters, you had this great story, but you forgot what you were at the core, and you were a movie.
Dang.
That's deep.
That's
Have fun following that one up.
I'm amazed. Yeah, I thought this was a Miller Lite. Next film up. It's no, actually I'll go ahead with Miller Lite. It's kind of on John's thing. You're not going to seek it out, but if you're handed to you, you're going to watch it. If Adam puts it on the docket, you're going to watch it. But you don't have to watch it again, and you don't have to enjoy it while you're going through it. So that's what I'm going with on that one. Last one up is this is a Netflix. It's a Netflix-only film, right? Netflix original series.
It's a series, yep.
Altered Carbon, 2018. This is pretty recent. Set in a future where consciousness is digitized and stored. A prisoner returns to life in a new body and must solve a mind-bending murder to win his freedom. Oh, you should have kept going. I was timing you.
I know. Sorry.
Nice setup, though. It's all good.
Your body is not who you are.
Fat fingers.
You shed it like a snake sheds its skin. You transfer the human consciousness between bodies to live eternal life.
That's a metal opening, man.
250 years.
Netflix original.
You are the property of Bancroft Industries. I've been provided with this body, which came equipped with military-grade neurochem and combat muscle memory.
Mr. Kovacs,
I didn't ask you to bring me back into this world.
all I ask of you is that you solve a murder.
Whose?
Mine.
This is the beginning.
I really thought that was part of the song.
You like my little metal
You
attitude?
need access that you don't want to give. Find answers that you may only think you want.
People with opportunity and motive.
This is by Cannibal Corpse.
I thought you'd be bigger. They made me bring all this back up.
Rude.
There's more here than you're willing to see. The mystery needs to be solved.
Hey, Lieutenant?
You know, saving your ass is not my only job.
And neither should acting.
This is the beginning.
Only on Netflix. All right, so I bailed on the trailer halfway through. John, what do you think?
I'm actually noticing something recently. You know that deep voice from like the 90s and the early 2000s for movie trailers?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's just been replaced by heavy bass.
Oh, it has.
Intermittently.
We've discussed this before.
Okay.
It's like now trailers, like the less dialogue, the better. And it's
Right.
just music with, it's all visual. That's why putting trailers on here for the podcast sucks.
We have to
we have to-
describe them
because
scene by scene.
everyone's just like, dun dun. And then it's like opening scene, like dun dun. And then, it just like, it knows how yeah. No, they totally changed the trailer game. You're absolutely right.
We watched Bruce Willis, Amanda Peet, whole 9 yards. And John was just a fun-loving guy going through his daily life until it all went wrong. And we're like, man, that guy, bring him back. Bring him back. Sarah Michelle Gellar is.
Scream. You won't want to go outside.
Well, yeah, then there is like the one man.
Yeah, that guy.
One way, one desire.
But yeah, I do like the 90s guy. John, would you actually first send it back to Adam, the docket master. Why is this on the list, my friend? What did you see that struck you as you were compiling your
I had
list?
to pick a movie this week, and this one came up on Trending Now, and the guy was all slimy in the thumbnail print. So
Matrixy.
So I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Slimy
guys.
Slimy dudes. Adam's got it.
99% match. There you go.
Hello, ladies.
Oh, no.
John, what did you think about this one? Altered Carbon, drama, sci-fi, thriller, 10 episodes. So would you call that a miniseries? We had a chat about this earlier, too. When does miniseries end? Here's a question for the podcast. And for everybody listening, Dale at 1890studios.com. What is a miniseries? Is it have to end in one series? Is it 6 episodes? Is it 4? Is it 8? Is it 10?
I think it's for me. It would be just this is it. If it ends at episode 10 and that's it, they never bring it back. Then that would be what I would classify it as
Miniseries. Okay.
Yeah, but I have no idea if they're going season 2 on this one.
I got you.
I found it kind of funny when it started. It was showcasing the protagonist as kind of Asian descent, and I got really excited all of a sudden because I was like, well, now that I think about it, a lot of shows today don't go that route.
Okay,
and so I was like, okay, this is cool, and then it got whitewashed almost immediately. And I was like, oh well, here's this new guy, and so I'm biased, and the guy's a dud. So I'm further biased.
Right.
And so that
just like, another white male main character.
Nope, there we go again.
Kevin Spacey. So what would real quick, so he changes from an Asian man into a much taller, equally as built white man. Okay. We see, as the trailer shows and as our little tagline here says, your consciousness is digitalized and stored. It returns in a new body. So he's leaving this place, wherever he was leaving, and some 7-year-old got like a 40s, 50s, 40, 50-year-old woman, and she's like, Mom, Dad, and it's like an old white woman is the 7-year-old Asian child. Why did he get this body? Was he chosen for that, like to be put in that body? He was? Okay.
Yeah, the guy paid for him. That's trying to get him to solve his murder. Okay. So he gave him like this high-end body with all these skills.
Got the Bentley body, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I was just wondering why. Yeah, because I remember they saying like, well, you can always upgrade, but you got to pay extra. And I was like, wow, that's so crazy.
Patrick, can you kind of explain the world? This, I would say, pretty society-fied world.
To a T.
Society's done. There is no society.
Defied.
Society's over.
People are living above the clouds now.
People say like, "Oh, that time on Earth long ago."
Right.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. And at one point, he's like, "What planet am I on?" You know?
Yeah.
So I almost had to rewatch it a little bit because I was a little lost. Okay, so people now have chips in their spinal column that are their being. or you're
Correct.
like your brain is implanted on a chip.
Sure.
So you can like
We all have SD cards.
yeah, basically. So like you just take out the SD cards, put in another body, you're good to go.
Sure,
and
plug
you
and
live
play.
forever. And so they have all these bodies they just make, and bodies are just nothing now.
Sure,
They're just,
we're all Samsung devices.
yeah. They call the bodies sleeves. Like this is so that was kind of that's pretty different,
Right.
obviously. And then what? So then take it from there.
Yeah, so he was mixed up with some terrorist activity in his previous life, or his previous shell, or his previous
Body, shell, sleeve.
yeah. And so he gets
So
put
maybe
in
he
prison.
was never an Asian man.
Oh, no, I think he's got plasma. I don't know. I'll find out in episode 2.
They don't flash the SD card.
No, but so he got sentenced to his disc was like put in prison, and he's been in prison for 250 years. Then he wakes up, he's like, why am I here? And then this rich guy wants him to solve his murder for him,
Right.
but his kind of shtick is he's like a superhuman because he has like senses where he can like see through walls, kind of. So he's real cognizant of what's going on around him. He sees all the details as soon as he walks into the room. So kind of like a Jedi.
How many
guy.
outlets? Yeah.
How many outlet lights? Yeah.
So then he's got to solve the murder, but there's people after him for why he wants to do this. So hijinks are
Hijinks ensue. Yeah. Very busy first episode. They're setting up a lot.
Yeah,
I
very
think.
busy. Very busy.
A lot to hold on to, and if you're not you can't have your phone out at all. Your mind goes, I think.
No. What'd you think, Dale?
It was very society defiant. I really go into my notes here. Very cool idea. Now we've gone Matrix-y. We pull a little bit from the Matrix, pull a little bit Star Wars-y, pull a little bit from all of this and this and this. Very cool story. I don't want to spoil my recommend and rewatch, but I want to keep going on this because it's deep. There's a lot of stuff going on. I really like the main character. I liked his plight because I was in jail so I'm bad. Okay, so he's a bad boy, but I want to help, and I got a soft spot for.
But he wasn't like a bad guy. He was like at war. Like he's almost a different species, from a different planet that fought humans.
Right.
I thought it's very confusing. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Well, then whatever.
Society's done. You got to realign yourself with a whole new society.
Hence why I got to keep going through this show to really make the most of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was pretty good. As far as first episode goes, John, did you go beyond first episode or no?
No, I stopped there, and yeah, like what you guys were saying, it's based off of a guy who's lived probably about 100 years from currently. So we're learning about that world. And now he's been pulled 250 years further into the future. So now you're learning that world as well, and they keep referencing battles, wars, different planets, and so I'm just locked in, going, okay, all this information, and then. Kind of the first episode ends, I'm like, okay, this is probably good basis for 10 episodes, but for one, I just have a bunch of knowledge and just nowhere to go with it.
Right.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
You have to watch it.
But you got to say, it draws you back in. I mean, it really kind of tries to suck you into the second episode because you have all this knowledge. If you want to utilize it, you'd keep going, I guess.
Yeah.
If you dug it. Patrick, do you like this one?
Oh, yeah, I really liked it.
Okay.
I'm totally on board. I just finished Babylon.
Nice.
Germany, so
dude, I
it?
can't believe you finished it. I'm on episode 10. Dude, he blew my mind earlier. I was like, "Oh, you watch Babylon Berlin?" I found what's in the train. He's like, "Dude, you don't even know it." I was like, "What?" He's dropping little.
So you're gonna keep on
crumbs.
rolling? Did you stop at episode 2, or did you keep
no.
rolling?
Well, I stopped at episode 1, but
okay,
I had to watch 2 more movies. I was like, God darn it! I want to go watch more Babylon. I do want to watch more Babylon, and I also want to watch more Carbon.
You got a lot of stuff to do, man.
10-hour shows.
Yeah, like kind of what you like. After I watched the first episode, and I was not in a mood to watch this when I put it on. I put it on because I had to for the podcast.
Dedication.
And I was like, all right, I gotta watch this. Like, I want this hurry up and done so I can watch Babylon Berlin. I'm really into that show.
Okay.
All right, just get through this one. So I'm already going into it with kind of a pissy mood.
Yeah.
And it wowed me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I liked it even though I went into it with a bad mood. To me, that's a sign of something good.
Yeah.
You know, so, and then there's one cool scene I think that sold me on it was he checks into a hotel that's an AI hotel. So it's like completely run by robots.
Sure.
I think I got that right.
Not completely, but yeah.
So
a lot of it is automated. How about
yeah. So here, check in, sir, and then but no one goes to these hotels anymore because they're obsolete.
Right.
So they go to bring him in, and then he just he checks in the hotel, and now the hotel protects him and kills all the guys.
Right.
I was like, whoa, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what sold me on it.
You don't what, Patrick? Are you giving him the spoiler mantle?
I can't give
There's
him the
nothing
mantle,
being spoiled.
I mean,
It's episode 1.
That's a big scene. That's a big pivotal
cool
scene.
No, I did like that. He's like, would you please sign here, sir? You just I just slapped my hand right
with my DNA. Yeah, dude. And then dude,
that's pretty cool.
Society it was really cool.
Has been far defied.
Yeah,
it's already in the next society.
There's ads, hologram ads in the streets, and it's like the internet is all around your face in 3D.
It's got a lot of Fifth Element kind of stuff to it a little bit. I don't know. I like that era. I like not post-apocalyptic, but it's just a society-defied future. I like that.
Is it futuristic noir though?
Ooh. Dang.
Oh, dang.
It doesn't have to be noir all the time, but I would like that.
Well, I do know that in the notes that it shows the season 1, all the episode titles are named after 40s and 50s noir movies.
Oh.
So I thought you would catch on that. It also takes place in 25th century, and then it's based off of a book, but I haven't read the book. So
okay.
I was true.
My next question was, did you do any backstory research, and is this like a book come to life? But it obviously has.
I think but I know the main character, Joel Kidman, he's got a bunch of tattoos, so he's got to sit through 90 minutes of makeup just to cover up
does he
all
really?
his
I read
tattoos.
that. Yeah.
Wow. I like that guy. He's in House of Cards. He plays he actually is in House of Cards.
Great.
He plays,
I know.
He's
That's why I got so excited.
He's like Kevin Spacey.
No, he's not Kevin
Republican
Spacey.
candidate.
Kevin Spacey's Kevin Spacey.
Well, no, he's Kevin Spacey's nemesis. Political nemesis.
Yeah, he's
in the
his
show.
opponent.
Yeah, his opponent. So, and he's really good in House of Cards. And I'm glad to see him in another thing to see him spread his wings on his own.
Yeah, he's got I was reading through some of his trivia stuff on IMDb, and he put a lot of work into the physical stunts. He's he got work done, plastic surgery done on him because he was self-conscious about how his body looked, and then he said now he offered the director that he needs to be shirtless in every episode. So it's okay, well, that's the dude's a stud. He's going for it, I guess, man.
He's a damn Hercules.
Adam, I understand. Agree,
little slime,
slimed up dudes. Hey,
as far as slimed up dudes go,
it's 10 for 10.
Might as well be Hercules.
John, what else you got to add on this one? You a fan? I mean, are you going to keep watching? You're pretty much too much info. You're going to stop it here.
No, I mean, if I do want to keep going with a TV show, then I would be interested in going. Similar to what Adam was saying, it's a lot of info, but kind of how he approached it. I watched it right after one of the other movies, and there's times when you get this much information that you might just tune it out and you say there's just too much coming at me. But this episode did a great job of I feel like I soaked in everything they were giving me, and I was just okay, I need to remember this for later. Oh, this kind of ties into that. Need to remember that for later.
Okay.
And so that's a good sign of a episode that it gives you so much info and you walk away going, I think I know what's going on. I think I could keep going.
Yeah, fulfilled enough but not overwhelmed.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool things to keep it going. Like when he wakes up in the bag and they get him out, he's like, where am I? They're like, Alcatraz. He's like, what planet? You're I'm like, whoa, Society of Fire. I'm in.
So there's 2 Alcatrazes.
That's when Adam goes from feet up, laid back, to just staring, feet on the floor at the screen.
Did you say what planet? Oh.
Wait, you said the planet. Let's go.
Space?
All right. Wait, you're talking about space? I'm on board. Planets? Let's do it.
Slimed up?
Slimed up dudes? Let's go. What else more can we add? Do you want to do a pros, cons, or is there any more cool notes, John? What do you got? You look at all your notes on there. What do you got? Anything else to add?
Google Doc.
Is it a Google Doc? Why don't you share it with the group?
It's an email.
Oh, okay.
Via Google or other sponsor.
So technically, it is
sorry, Bezos. Sorry about that. No, I had just listed things I just didn't have much to critique because there was so much that was given to me that I just don't feel it'd be fair to almost do any type of nitpicking or any flaws because it's just so much information sent to me that's okay, well, feel like I would need to watch another 3 or 4 before I was able to use that knowledge and go, okay, well, what do I actually think about
And
this?
judge
is
it.
it great or is it not?
That's a good point, because you brought up earlier, like, what's the difference between ratings on TV shows and movies? Like, because TV shows tend to be higher, I think, just because they're more, you can be more complete.
Okay.
So it is kind of hard to criticize like a TV show when it has like 10 seasons, like 10 episodes,
Right.
Because they can do so much with that
Yeah.
movies can't. You know what I mean?
Well, basically, and something I do like to touch on when we go through these series is it going to keep you driving into the next one? That's what matters the most. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a different question than movies.
Sure, exactly. Was this movie, was this 100% like complete? But this is 1/10. Did you like it enough to go into the second 10th or the a fifth?
All right, fractions aside.
Adam, give me your pros cons for this.
Pros, it's very out there, very different.
Right.
You have to learn. There's a lot of cool things, man. Just a lot of little cool things that
futuristic
I
stuff.
really want to watch it. So I think episode 1 job done for this show. Cons, I would say that it's there's not a lot of cons to say about it, I guess.
That's pretty good. That's a good sign.
That's your good sign right there. I think it's just, I don't know, maybe not enough metal. I don't know.
Yeah, could add more Cannibal Corpse. That would be nice.
It was kind of weird. There was one part that was kind of weird where like he goes up to space or to the cloud guy's house.
Yeah.
And like the his wife's sitting there with like her nips popping out of that that white dress and very over sexualized, I think.
Right.
I don't think he needed all that.
No.
But I don't know, that's kind of weird.
Very HBO-y with its topless women.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like a little over the top. I don't know.
Slimy men, topless women.
Everyone's topless.
Everything the body needs.
Very Matrixy.
Patrick, give me pros, cons, man.
My pro is that it's a little bit mind-bending for me.
Okay.
So it's kind of making me think, like, oh, could this really be the future? Could I just put myself on a disc and go wherever I want?
Aren't you already like a half robot cyborg anyway?
Yeah, hacker man.
Not keyboards, physical body, not so much, But like con is it's kind of like slow building to something.
Okay.
But I want it to go now. I want to see all the good stuff now, but I know I have to like sit through a little bit of dialogue.
Stop the podcast. Patrick wants to keep watching.
Yeah, gotta go. Bye.
John, pros, cons.
Pros, great visuals.
Very cool.
It seemed something that was very practical in the future. Like I could say, all right, yes, I see how the society moves this way in terms of ads are getting even just implanted in the neck, like just all the computerization of it. Really like the reincarnation aspect of it, and I like that it brought in a lot of people quickly.
Right.
I feel like the shows that tend to be more successful just say, all right, here you go, here's everyone. Now you have to catch up. Like we're going to just start going right away.
Yeah.
Cons was another one that I struggled with. I didn't really associate that much with the main character. You're saying he was great in House of Cards. He just seemed kind of like a dud for the brief bit that he was in this one.
In House of Cards or in this one?
No, in this one.
Oh, okay.
Like I know nothing about House of Cards.
Right. Oh, you don't watch it?
No.
I recommend it. I give it a
everybody rewatch it.
I give it a bourbon. A nice bourbon.
And then the other one was just because I was just searching for things, is that whole cop and detective push and pull is really tried and true, or no, not tried and true, just tired.
Overused.
I was thinking about that. Yeah, that could be. Yeah,
like, immediately it just went into that.
Yeah. Pros for me, I'm going to just steal a little bit from everybody. Looked cool. Great story. Looking forward to its future. I love the era, whatever it is, post-apocalyptic, or not even, again, I call it that, but futuristic. And my con is this first episode is pretty busy. So it could be a con if you don't feel like paying attention and wanting to keep, taking all that information. As John said, overwhelmed information. It can be overwhelming, but if it's worth it, you're going to keep going. So may not be a con for everybody. I'm going to hop to rewatch recommend, and I will say yes and yes. I will, I definitely got to go into the next one for sure. John, you got to rewatch recommend for this one?
I'd recommend it, and if some time frees up, I might continue watching it.
Okay. Patrick?
Yes, and definitely.
Yes, and yes.
Society-defying, while I'm saying yes and yes. And then, why it's extra society-defying is because death doesn't mean the same thing anymore.
Ooh.
Which is ultimate society defying, because now you can live forever, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So when you do die, or when your disc gets destroyed, that carries so much more weight,
right,
than it would when a normal person dies, because we're all going to die,
right,
eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Now you could possibly live forever,
yeah.
so you could lose your immortality. It's a much bigger difference,
right?
Ultimate side.
Well, yeah, its mortality isn't the same thing as it is today.
Right,
it's a disc,
yes.
or it's a SD card.
You're on a floppy.
You're on a floppy now. Yeah, rewatch recommend there. Yes and yes for me. I like it. John, flip it to you for the drink review, sir.
All right, so this one, we're leaving the liquor store. We're going to that hip new restaurant down the street, and you're sitting down, and the waiter starts describing this new drink, the house drink, and he's going into detail, and all of a sudden, there's multiple liqueurs and just different ingredients going into, and you're starting to try to take it all in. You say, you know what, I'll take that. So he brings it back, and you drink it. You say, yeah, I like this a lot, but the waiter's now not there anymore. So you flip open the menu, and you're just looking through it. See, there's tons of different drinks with all the different words. So it's, if you're willing to put in the work and find that drink again,
yes,
then you get to enjoy it again.
Okay.
Like a detective.
Yes. Like a future detective.
Drunk detective.
Patrick, bring us on the liquor store aisle.
So I'm a big fan of kombucha, and when it comes to kombucha, nothing beats tart cherry kombucha.
Okay.
And I love that. And what would make it even better is just adding vodka to it.
Ooh.
And so I'm excited for the rest of this, and I'm excited for that drink. So as soon as
we get out of here. All right, we got to wrap it up. Patrick's got to keep watching. Adam, bring us on the liquor store aisle.
Yeah, well, actually, we're going to a bar. The bar that just opened up at my house.
Okay.
We had a dinner there the other night, and the girl working there said, hey, you guys want to try a root beer whiskey shot? And I'm thinking like, okay, yeah, maybe. Okay, I'll try it.
Right.
Knock one back. Whoa, that's good. So that's kind of what this is like.
Nice. I got written down, this is one of those fancy, glowing, the drink glows because like the table's all futuristic and lit up with those LEDs.
Ooh,
so
black lighty, yes.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Black lighty. And, you have your cool futuristic table drink and it's all LED-y. And then how are you going to pay for this? Where's the waitress I got to pay for this? Or waiter, I suppose. Well, no, just bump your phone. Just scan it. Just scan it real quick, bro. Like, whoa, this place is so futuristic. I'm not paying in cash. I'm paying in bumping my phone. Like, hey, look how hip I am. So it's like, hey, this is really hip. Like, but hey, hey, like if you guys are watching the live feed, I'm jiving my head.
I could just see you just like sipping on a drink and then just bumping it with your phone. Like,
yeah,
all right.
I got this one, guys. Bump. So like that's what it is. It's
Dale,
cool.
you just spent $5,000. Bump it
That's right.
again.
Bump it up, bro. That's right.
Can't feel the beat.
That's right. Get to it. But anyway, that's what I think about that. So we always have to do movie of the week. Adam, I'm looking at you. Movie or show of the week.
I'm going to go Altered Carbon.
Altered Carbon it is. Patrick, movie,
Ditto.
show, and John.
That makes 3.
We got to do Moon, guys. Moon is fantastic. It's the best movie we've ever had on the podcast. No, that's not true. I will say that's not true.
No one cares about clones.
You don't care about clones. America cares about clones. But what people should be caring about is what, Adam's finding us on iTunes?
Absolutely. Find us on iTunes. Leave us a rating. Give us 5 stars. Give us a comment. Help us be seen. Check us out on Facebook.
You don't need to go as fast as... Well, I guess Patrick needs to go. Patrick needs to watch more.
Come on.
Yeah, but go on, Adam. Rocket fire.
Okay. iTunes.
Boom.
5 stars.
Bingo.
Leave a comment.
Bingo. Are we on Facebook?
We are on Facebook, Dale.
Tell me more.
Go on there, give us a like, drop a comment. What movies do you want us to review? Adam, your take on Moon sucks. You're an incoherent drunk.
You read my comment already.
Yes, thank you.
From the future.
Tell us what you want to check out. We'll check it out for you. Check us out on Twitter. Dale's trolling all kinds of celebs on there.
Troll machine.
It's great stuff.
Troll room. Troll factory.
Troll hunter.
Russian collusion.
We basically are. They're going to call us Russian bot
Russian
podcast.
bots.
And then check us out on our website, 1890studios.com. That's where Patrick puts all the polls That's where you can see
Wait,
all
his
of our
polls
guests.
haven't changed for like a month.
I just changed it.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
Okay, good.
I knew. I
was waiting for the late ballots in the 1 year.
Yeah, wait for the absentee vote.
Yeah.
Make sure none of the votes are
Overseas,
slaves.
all that
Yes,
good stuff.
yes. So check us out there, and we're everywhere. On Spreaker's our hosting site as well. If you don't dig the iTunes, if you're an Android kind of guy. So that's it. Where else did I miss?
Nothing. We just want to say thank you. We got a handful of people listening. Like all of a sudden, crazy people are listening, and we
Thank
love
you.
you guys.
You're the best, crazy people.
Yeah.
Shout out to Naperville. We got a lot of Naperville numbers.
And Bolivia, you Bolivians out there, rock and roll. Thanks for the listen.
Keep up the fight.
You know
what they're doing.
Hey, we're
Fiesta, muy bueno.
Muy bueno. John, talking about muy bueno. Thanks for being on the podcast, my friend.
Glad to be here. I'm really happy I actually witnessed the moment that Adam was disappointed by a movie choice of yours.
Dun, dun,
That was
dun. It
the
happens
sadness
more
he
often
saw
than
in his eyes. It was.
I really
the
didn't
live
think
feed
this day
saw
would
that.
come.
But it is here now. Welcome to the future. Patrick, thanks
Put me on the disc.
Thanks for being on the podcast, dude.
You got it, Dale.
Adam, as always, we have our fights, but we sit across from each other week by week. Thanks for being on the podcast, man.
Yeah, anytime, dude.
And once again, we want to say thank you. And from all of us here at the Netflix Explorers, we got to say see you later and so long, and we'll catch you next time, y'alls. We say that every time. Y'all.
That's our new thing.
Yeah.
No more adios. Peace, y'all.
Adios.
Whoa! Society of Fire!